Welcome to our predictions for AEW Revolution 2024. My name is Evan.
I am Javier.
And it's your boys from Crossbody of Work podcast. We are here to predict what's going to happen at AEW Revolution. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be a good show.
I mean, yeah, AEW tends to nail it with the pay-per-views, unless they're just coming fast and furious like we had at the end of the year.
Yeah, that was weird.
Aside from that, I mean, Revolution every year tends to be one of the better ones.
Pretty good.
I mean, last year I would say it was their best pay-per-view. So
yeah, so
high expectations.
I also want to make sure that we preface, we are recording this on Tuesday, February 27th. If new matches have been added since then, our apologies. We're doing it before Dynamite and before Collision. So we're going off the 9 matches that are currently listed on the Wikipedia page for the event. The first one, FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli of the Blackpool Combat Club in a tag match. Who do you got and why?
I've got the BCC in that one. I don't think they want Moxley taking any losses because I think Jon Moxley might actually be in line to win the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship coming up soon.
I like this. That sounds good.
I also think that they kind of just want to push BCC's tag team a little higher up just because, you know, if they lose, it's more so like if they lose this match, what do you do with them?
Yeah, that's true. FTR doesn't need to win forever. I don't know. Like, and not that not that Jon Moxley and Claudio can't bounce back from a loss either, but I think FTR is in a position where they can just take an L and be totally fine. So I'm also going with Blackpool Combat Club. I think it's the right call.
Yeah, I agree.
It's probably also going to be an absolute banger.
Oh, absolutely. I actually kind of hope that they start the pay-per-view.
I hope they open. Yeah. Let's talk about Meat Madness. Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs versus Lance Archer in what can only be described as Big E's wet dream. Who do you got and why do you love Meat Madness so much?
This is incredible. I love everything about what's happening in this match right now. And I'm hoping that they add Miro to this, but I also know that they had like a house fire or flooding or something happened.
Oh, that's
with them, so he might just not be up for wrestling
available.
Right now. He's dealing with that. So as it stands, I mean, it has to be Wardlow. Wardlow needs to win every match that he's in from now until he challenges for the AEW World Title. Like, he just has to win.
I want to study the cooling off of Wardlow like it's another Ice Age. This has been crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he cut the promo of his life last week.
He did. It's still wild how he went from one of the hottest organic things that AEW has ever created to where he is now. I think the need for the win trumps my want that, like, I really want Powerhouse Hobbs to win because I think Powerhouse Hobbs is a star.
Yeah.
But I think Wardlow needs the win a lot more. I think Lance Archer's in there to get the pin.
I think Lance Archer's in there because I really like Lance Archer. So.
I think he's going to be just great. He also fills the meat quotient. So
yes, we need more meat though. 3 isn't enough. Give me a 4th meat man in there.
Well, this is what Big E was saying when he said 3's not enough, man. I need 5. So get more meat in the Meat Madness.
3
all right.
madness.
Let's talk about the world's greatest father. Christian Cage defends the AEW TNT Championship against Daniel Garcia. 2 questions. Who wins? And is Christian Cage the greatest player hater of all time?
Greatest player hater of all time is tough. There are some genuine haters out there.
Christian Cage's ability he has the greatest dead dad radar of all time.
I know. The fact that he dropped those coordinates or whatever it was, and it was like
to the cemetery,
address, and it was to a cemetery, probably the one where Daniel Garcia's father's buried.
Like he's going up backstage and being like, "Hey, do you know the name of the cemetery your dad's buried at?"
I honestly wouldn't be shocked if Daniel Garcia was the one that offered it up. But yeah, Christian Cage is going to win because
he's going to win. Yeah.
Obviously. I mean, I love Daniel Garcia. I love this story that they're telling with Daniel Garcia. But it has to be Christian Cage. It just has to be.
It has to be Christian Cage. I also think that we need to acknowledge the fact that Kill Switch, I understand the naming of Luchasaurus. I get it. I really do. However, if this was in WWE, I feel like people would put it on par with the naming of Retribution. So
No, everyone. I mean, Twitter at least has widely panned the Kill Switch name
because it's a bad name. It's a bad time. All right, this is also going to be a banger.
Oh God.
Will Ospreay, Konosuke Takeshita. This is going to be
What?
good. How do you pronounce his first name?
Konosuke Takeshita?
Yeah, Takeshita.
Yeah, it's just
Takeshita.
Takeshita.
Oh, that makes sense. I've only
It's
ever
like how
seen
Kazuchika Okada is just Kazuchika Okada instead of Kazuchika.
Kazuchika. Who do you got and why?
I have no idea. Both of them need a win, but I'm going to say that Takeshita takes the win because I guess it'll further a story of Ospreay leaving the Callis family. So
Okay.
I'll give it to Takeshita by interference.
I don't think you make as big a deal about Will Ospreay and have him lose at Revolution. I don't think you do.
I also could see this just being like a double count out or like
Yes.
DQ or something.
Maybe the strongest non-finish potential on the card.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. But I'm going to take Ospreay mainly because I also need you and I to differ at some point. Okay.
It's so true. Yeah.
We got to differ at some point. I'll take Will Ospreay. What a hard thing to do. Oh no, I have to put my chips in with Will Ospreay winning a wrestling match. Blessed me. What a terrible time. All right, speaking of terrible times, let's talk about two guys who seem to just fucking hate each other. The singles match for the Continental Crown Championship, Eddie Kingston defending against Bryan Danielson. If Danielson loses, he must shake Kingston's hand.
I'm going to say Danielson.
Okay.
I think that we have been so lucky and blessed with this Eddie Kingston run of just pure happiness. This has been nothing but pure happiness for Eddie
great.
Kingston. It's been great, and I love everything about it because Eddie Kingston absolutely deserves it. But I don't think we give him another moment of happiness. You know, I don't think he gets the handshake. I think Danielson wins. I think he takes the titles, and I think he spits on Kingston or something like that. Also, ROH kind of needs a little bit of a boost.
And having Danielson be world champion?
Yeah, they just, it would make sense to me. Especially, I think they have a pay-per-view coming up towards the end of, actually, yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend. And,
yeah,
it would just make sense if Bryan Danielson's the headliner of that.
Which we are still mad that they announced it so late because we got tickets to another show instead. The other show's going to be fun, but damn, we could have gone to ROH.
Yes.
I'm also taking Danielson. I think your logic is sound. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think the Eddie Kingston run is nearing its natural conclusion point, and that's fine. Have we talked about how weird it is that like this Triple Crown Championship has 2 mid-card titles and then the ROH World title? That's weird.
Well, I mean, the ROH World title in the grand scheme of things is low-key a mid-card title.
Oh, but it just makes me sad. It bums me out. That's the only thing. I don't see Daniel Bryan shaking Eddie Kingston's hand.
I don't see it
grudge against Claudio for, I don't know, decades. Bryan's not shaking his fucking hand right now. Like you can only overcome one like lifetime blood feud at a time. Okay.
Yeah. Listen, I don't know what the opposite of a hater is, but that's what Eddie Kingston is.
A lover.
Well, no, I'm talking like a true player hater. Like Eddie Kingston hates people, but not in a vindictive way. You know,
he has a righteous anger that I wish I could tap into.
I know.
He's like, it's one thing to hate somebody. It's one thing to know you're justified and be like, this is why I hate this guy.
He just like me for real.
All right, let's talk about the AEW Women's World Championship match. It is timeless Toni Storm defending against Deonna Purrazzo. Who do you got and why?
I love Deonna Purrazzo. She's a fantastic wrestler, but there is just no way that she's winning this match. Zero. There is a 0% chance of that happening.
So you say Toni Storm's going to win?
Yes, Toni Storm is winning this match. And Toni Storm, it will hopefully drop that belt down the line to either a returning Jamie Hayter or Mercedes Moné. Spoilers. But, it's not going to be Deonna Purrazzo.
I will differ from you only because we need something different. Not that Deonna Purrazzo is going to win the title. I think Deonna wins by DQ.
Okay. Yeah.
So Toni will retain the title. I think Deanna will somehow win by DQ. So, on the official scorecard, she'll get the W, but it won't be. Maybe it'll be Mariah May interference that goes wrong. Maybe Luther, who I still think is weird that he's there, but he does a great job. Maybe that'll go awry or something, but Toni Storm retains the world title, but we'll say Deanna wins.
All right. Yeah. I respect it.
Let's go to the AEW World Championship, a triple threat match. Samoa Joe, Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland. Who do you got? Why?
I'm excited for this one.
Me too.
I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I think Samoa Joe retains.
Yep.
I do not think it's the time to crown Swerve yet. I think he will be the person that takes that title. But I do not think it is now. I think maybe.
When do you think it is?
Double or Nothing, probably.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think that's a nice time to do it. He is not officially a babyface yet, but he's like the most popular guy in AEW right now.
Yeah.
And I think this is kind of going to be the match that cements the turn. Joe keeps his belt, Hangman goes full heel, and Swerve goes full babyface. And I think it's going to be good. I think they have a match in between there, just a straight up match between Hangman and Swerve, and then down the line we get the Samoa Joe Swerve Strickland title match, and Swerve can have his moment until Adam Cole comes back.
I see you're a patient man. I am not.
Oh,
the belt on Swerve. Give them enough time. They can tell a lot of story in this. Have the Hangman versus Swerve feud be heel Hangman, face Swerve for the title. Do that. That sounds really cool. Make that Double or Nothing. That sounds like a really wonderful time. Just fuck it. Put the belt on Swerve. I want it. This is where the only one where I have led entirely with my heart. I'm like, no, I just want it. And I love Samoa Joe. He's awesome.
I just think he deserves longer with the belt.
He probably does. I don't care. Put it on Swerve. I'm sorry. He's just too fun. It's too good. Shout out to Prince Nana. All right. 2 more matches. The AEW International Championship. Orange Cassidy defending against Roderick Strong. Why are you picking Orange Cassidy?
I am not picking Orange Cassidy. I am picking Roderick Strong. I think if Roderick Strong loses this match, that entire group needs to be destroyed.
They're not doing great.
Or what is it? The Undisputed Kingdom is done if Roderick Strong does not win this match. Like, they're just done. There's just no shot that they can be a viable group in this company if Roddy loses this match. Like that, and that is literally the only reason I am picking Roderick Strong. Because it just has to be. My guess would be so much heavy interference, but then the best friends do come out to stop the Kingdom from doing stuff. But Roddy somehow uses some sort of methods to just get Orange to lose. I don't know what it's going to be, but Roderick Strong's winning this match.
Okay. I don't like betting against Orange Cassidy in international championship matches because I like playing the stats. And the stats are that man wins international championship matches.
Unless they're against John Moxley.
Unless they're against John Moxley. Other than that, he crushes it. I am just going to go with the stats. I'm just going to go with OC because I just think him and that belt are like the perfect combination. He's so good. You know what? You're right. Sometimes you need to take things away. And I also have no idea where the Undisputed Kingdom goes if they don't win. Like, what are they? They're just waiting for Adam Cole, right? Like, there's nothing. They've got nothing going on. Who do they feud with next? Like, it's a really weird time for them. So, I don't know.
All I know is that the sooner they go without gold or without any sort of representation of wins, the worse it gets. Yeah. Anything tangible, the worse it gets. And it's just weird.
All right. The last match that we have to predict is Sting's retirement match. Sting and Darby Allin in a tornado tag team match defending the AEW World Tag Team Championships against Matthew Jackson and Nicholas Jackson, the youngest of Bucks. How do you think EVP? Sting's last match goes down?
I'm a little conflicted on who wins this match. I want to say that Sting is really wants to book himself on his back, how everyone goes out on their back. I really want to believe that he's one of those guys, but at the same time, I kind of don't like them putting the titles on the Young Bucks. So, and I do think that it would be really cool if he just retires going undefeated in tag matches with Darby Allin. So I am going to let my heart be the one that guides me on this one rather than logic. And I'm going to say that Sting and Darby Allin win this match. I really am. And I know common sense would be, oh, maybe Ric Flair turns on him, because Ric Flair always turns on Sting. And they end up having like one of those like Chono and Muda had, where they just had like a fake match after the and that's like kind of their last hurrah, their retirement match. But
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. Sting and Darby Allin are winning this match.
Sting isn't allowed to have friends. He's allowed to have a son, and that's Darby Allin, but he's not allowed to have friends. And Sting's friend, Ric Flair, is coming out with them for this match. It's going to happen. Ric Flair is going to be involved in Sting's last match. Somehow Sting is going to get screwed one more time. That old adage of Sting can't have friends is going to come true. The Young Bucks will win the AEW World Tag Team title. Sting will go out on his back. I think it would be more heartbreaking if Darby gets pinned in Sting's last match, but I don't think they'll do that.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
think that's too far out there for that to be the thing that happens. I think Sting will eat the pin, and then Darby could feud with the Bucks longer. I don't think he will, but
the issue with, I mean, probably it depends on the nature of how everything goes down.
yeah, and like who's his partner after Sting's gone?
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like who do you pair with him? Darby doesn't really have many friends.
No, that's his whole gimmick.
Sting.
He just hangs out with that cool old guy at the comic book shop.
Hey, but at least they are undefeated.
They are undefeated, which is wild when you think about it. All right, so running it down, we differ on the AEW World Tag Team Championship match, the AEW International Championship match, and we differ on the Women's World Championship and the World Championship. So pretty much the title belts, we are not in agreement.
The title belt's not owned by a father.
Yes, everyone except for Christian Cage, who is everyone's daddy. And then we also disagree on Ospreay Takeshita. See, now I know how to pronounce it correctly.
Yes.
It's called growth, people. All right. Who do you think will be the winners at AEW Revolution 2024? Put them in the comments below. Who do you think is going to be right more in their predictions? And I thank you in advance for putting me down there. Make sure you check out our podcast, Crossbody of Work, wherever you get podcasts. The week this is coming out, we're doing a deep dive onto the career of Dalton Castle. We did ODB from TNA last week. You can get them wherever you get your podcasts, as well as here on YouTube. And, follow us on social media at Crossbody of Work. Hit like on the video. Hit subscribe. It helps us out tremendously. We'll be back whenever there's another big wrestling show to predict. We'll talk to you then.
Bye.